And we're live.
We're
awesome. Live with what are we at here? I will put up a boom. Episode 68. Happy Mario Day. The spice must flow. We are going to be talking about a lot of good things today.
A lot of good news, a lot of good stuff,
a lot of good news.
Inspiring things have occurred.
I'm excited. I'm excited. You should what I like about the beginning part of the show is the people start trickling in. Like it's like a slow feed.
Is that
coming in? But we're going to talk a little bit about the fact that we hit 102 people on YouTube.
Well, that's very exciting. 102 subscribers.
What?
Excellent.
Woo. More subscribers.
Still a minute here on the Mid-Geek Crisis.
Let's roll that intro. And fair enough. We'll run with that one.
There was a part of me that was hoping you'd change it. I was like, maybe we can have like.
I think at episode either 69 or
nice,
or a full episode 70. We'll go with a new song, and we'll
kick off. We're at 102. No, wait, no, I know. Very exciting.
Right, welcome to the Mid-Geek Crisis.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Joe the Afro-Man, and we've got partner in crime here.
Cautious. Online, I'm Pedro in real life. If you really need to call me Pedro. What's up, Tim?
Who's Pedro?
Yeah, exactly. Someone called me Pedro on Facebook, and I'm like, why are you gonna out me? Why are you gonna do this to me? What's going on? Anyway.
Oh man, lots of news, lots of good stuff. But happy Mario Day!
Happy Mario Day!
Gotta make sure to pump that out there. It's March 10th, and I think
how long is Mario Day been? I feel like every year I'm like, what? How?
So yeah, it seems like it was a fan thing, right? Like the fans were like, oh look, Mar 10, MAR 10 Mario, and so like the fans made it a thing, and then Nintendo was like,
that's an easy marketing play.
So Nintendo's now been a big deal, and so boom, there we go. Happy Mario Day. We've got some great deals going on some games, for sure. That's always a nice thing.
So I saw the email came in. Is it like any of those games good?
Ooh, wrong, but that's right. Rolls. You know what? Let's check out the games. I didn't even realize.
It's the ones. I mean, it's the Olympics. I wasn't sure if Mario Kart was on sale. They were just mentioning it. 3D Odyssey is on sale.
Yeah.
Oh, Mario Kart Deluxe is on sale. Maybe I'll pick that one up.
Let's zoom in a little bit with that Control Plus.
Oh, thanks again to brother sister star Jordan for producing. He's helping us on the show. He's part of the Coin Operated Collective.
So we've got some pretty good deals. I mean, not all of them are digital, of course, but these titles will probably be on sale for the rest of the week. So Mario Maker 2 for $40 is a good deal, considering that's a $60 game all the time.
They're all $60 games.
Yeah, they're all $60. Nintendo never goes down, man. So those are pretty good deals. That Super Mario Party is a really good one. My kiddo loves it. They love it. Odyssey Standard Edition, regular. That's again that.
I'll probably
game
do some Mario Party and Olympic Games.
Mm-hmm.
The way to go. Only 4 more days till Pi Day. March is full of a lot of exciting days, right? So
right. Pi Day,
Mario Day,
the Ides of March.
The Ides of March. Stab your Caesar Day. Betray your friends Day. What else do we have for March? Is that it? Have you done your taxes yet day?
Have you done your taxes? We've also got Get Drunk on Green Beer Day.
Oh God. Is that even going to happen? I feel like I'm reading news that all these things.
Let's talk about that. It's a good segue there. So, this is interesting. So we came back from PAX, and it looks like that might be the last big hoorah for the year, man. Like, they've canceled. So in the time span of last episode, they've canceled South by Southwest. It's gone, and that's being from Austin and seeing all my Austin friends, they're like, yeah, it's canceled because they hate it, right? Because Austin is a really tiny town and it just turns into a cluster F. It's it's impossible to move around.
Commerce comes to your town.
Right. But at the same time, it's awful for the economy of the town. Right. I was talking to a couple friends who are bartenders, who are people that work they were expecting that South by money because they know that that's the month that they get to pump up their bills. They get to do the bartending kicks off. They can triple their income in 1 month and kind of catch up. It's like people that rely on the income tax for that like big pump.
Yeah, it's their event. It's their money making event. It's the best.
So there's been kind of this like coalition of people that are like, putting up statuses, sharing on Twitter, like, hey guys, people that work in the service industry that were expecting that big bump, be sure to tip your waitress, be sure to tip, the extra people, because these events bring in money while you might be inconvenienced and you're happy that it's gone. There are people that, growing list. Yeah, here we go. It's tons of
events. Website up. And,
yeah.
and Sakurai, please, cancel your E3 flights. Probably you should have canceled it already since there's no one that's going to be there, but also because of the virus.
Yeah. South by had to lay off staff because of it. There are legit consequences of the whole thing. Yeah.
Not the London Book Fair. No, I'm kidding. Six Nations Rugby, man, yeah.
Oh, check it out. So Sakurai was saying, check Devolver's tweet. Our producer can check that out for me. But when he gets a chance.
Subtle.
Get
to work there, producer behind the scenes, and we'll, the beatings will be more frequent.
No, but it's awesome. I mean, that's again, it's great having Jordan do this for us. It really helps.
It takes the pressure off, right? We can just
give
the crowds what they want, right?
Right. But it's interesting. E3 was already on its death throes, right? We've been talking about it for a couple weeks now that Sony backed out. You had IM8-bit drop out as the thing. Cancel E3. Oh my God. Dude, look at that. That's you've got big developer. I mean, Devolver is a big deal. Like, they used to be the little guy, but now they're pretty big. Like, they take a big show floor. They've got good games. That Enter the Gungeon, Exit the Gungeon, House of the Gungeon.
I don't know that E3 is going to bounce back from this. I wonder about all the small cons out there that are going to suffer from this. I'm really worried about all of our friends and video game fans and everyone out there who, work in these industries that are being hit. And then I get upset when the administration is like, we need to bail out hotels and cruise ships. And I'm like, really? Those people are going to be fine.
Those people are
millionaires and billionaires are going to be fine.
You're right. My concern is with the industry. I think this is also a shift. This is a kick in the pants that people needed. It might have been that moment where they go, you know what? Nintendo jumped on board a few years ago by not doing the big hoorah, maybe showing up with some consoles like any other show, but not doing the big keynote, not doing the big, rehearsing all of that, putting it on camera months in advance, getting the demos on camera, a video, and then dump a video at a perfect time, doing the Nintendo Direct. And that should be what Sony should do. That should be what Microsoft does. Why bother with the live reactions when all that ends up happening is someone does something silly on stage and then you get memed to death?
So, Rolls, that's interesting, right? Because you're on the road a lot, right? I wonder if there's a little bit of a lead time, right, between people who have to still do their trips and work and people who are traveling for tourists, right? I wonder about those tourism industries that are going to be hit.
That's right. And we got a new. Here we go. Look at this here. E3 was already in a rough shape after doxing all those press members last year. That's right. There was a big deal about the doxing. Please don't dox me.
Now I remember why I didn't like E3. Thank you, Pergament. I look at a new fan of the show. Thanks for joining.
Hey, yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, absolutely. That's another thing. It's a big deal there that the media's kind of turned on it. Developers are turning on it.
It's just so fun. There's so many other places for gamers to have a good time.
There's so many wonderful places to. Yep.
So goodbye E3.
Goodbye E3. If you come back next year, WWDC is looking to cancel. That's a big deal for Apple. They're looking. Santa Monica has already shut down all events, all public events. They've put out it's a 3-week ban on any major events in the city limits. So, yeah.
So I was thinking about that, Rules, right? Fans is actually trying to book a cruise. Is it possible to get the entire ship for yourself? Because that might be kind of fun if you can get the whole ship for yourself. Will it leave? Like, there's been times when I've been on a flight and like literally no one's been on the flight, and it's just me and the flight attendant, and that's it.
That's awesome.
And I'm just like,
I dream of that.
I'm still like sitting in seat 24C, and I'm like, can I move up? Is that okay? Like, I'm still.
Like, we'll have to charge you, sir. Exactly. Just be that jerk, and they're over there partying, woo, and then they like close the curtain on you. And I'm like, I'm the only one on the. Why? Yeah, we had this conversation on Saturday Rolls when I was doing the stream for 198X where there's like an interesting about the flight industry, right? Like they will hold on to a ticket and price it triple the amount at the last minute and prefer not having anyone in the seat than just selling it for dirt cheap. So the flight industry has no idea what it is doing.
I mean, they've got a pretty solid monopoly in.
Well, I mean,
market.
It's what planes. It's not like someone else is like, we're gonna make dirigibles, and all of a sudden it's like, no, the plane industry is freaking out because there's like competitors now.
They are getting better at stuff in the plane. I mean, this was probably 5 years ago. It's 5.5 years ago, and it was a commuter flight. It wasn't even like a big
flight whacking. Any flight you get where there are more open seats than people on planes, love them, but oh god, it's rare. It is. It really is. It really is. You know, are you a fan of airplane food? I don't know. I've never been a fan.
I can't remember the last time I actually ate airplane food. When
we flew down to Mexico, we hopped on to Aeromexico, and they racked it. Like they pulled out all the no stops. Great high end food, and I was like, this is what flight used to be. This is what food used to be like on airlines, and now they're like,
it used to be luxury. It used to be a luxurious thing. You know, you'd smoke a cigarette, you'd take off your hat and hang it somewhere, and then.
That's right. You know what? The turnaround is Southwest. I do dig their style. They're like, you know, hey, you wanna move up to A group? Just pay another $20 and we'll throw you up on A group. Fair enough. And that's what I did the whole flight to PAX. I was like, I've got $30. I'll throw it up there. And you know, I'm A5, and so I'm the 5th person on the plane. What? No first class. I am first class.
Does that make you the first person off the plane? I'm just curious. Mm-hmm. All right, that's good.
Yeah, because I'll pick a seat right up front, right? Like I'll pick a seat further up, so I'll just jump off.
Sure. No,
yeah. So yeah, I mean, tons of things are canceling. It's interesting. I don't know where we're going. Guys, don't buy toilet papers. Invest in a bidet.
You still need a little paper for the.
Yeah. But I mean, but like if you buy one package of toilet paper. And use it just for the final wipe, you're fine. But you know, people are buying these like mountains because apparently people go through mountains of toilet paper all of a sudden, and now it's like worth more. Have you seen people hawking it on eBay and stuff? Like I'm like
more than gold.
Yeah.
House fit.
Oh my god, it's ridiculous.
It's toilet paper and toothpaste. I've got it all. You need some of that. You need some of that soft wipes. I got soft wipes.
I got soft wipes. You just open up the trench coat. What? I got
that Charmin. Yeah, it's that Charmin shit.
Charmin. Oh my god. Yeah, man. So yeah, that's where we're at. My wife's a teacher. So they're thinking about closing school for 3 weeks.
Oh, as you did. I mean,
yeah, Syracuse University closed.
They say, hey, spring breakers, don't come back.
Come back.
Stay home. Full blessing. There you go.
There you go.
Take your own hand sanitizer. I'll tell you what, everyone's really worried about it. Everyone's talking about it all the time. It's it's interesting. We live in interesting times, right? That's what's happening here.
You know, I know that people are saying make your hand sanitizer, but I don't have that much. Don't use vodka. I don't have that much aloe suntan stuff. Like I have like one bottle that I've had for the past like 5 years. Like it's whatever, you know, it's like, how much of that do I need to make hand sanitizer? I mean, I get it. It's running low, but now everyone knows that hack. So you go to like CVS and I doubt you're going to find big barrels of aloe vera thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know what's a hack anymore and what's not. You know, honestly, you want to know what my hack is? I'm taking a page out of the anti-vaxxers and I'm just not doing anything about it. I'm like, bring it on.
It's jade eggs. Right, we've talked about it. You get the jade eggs. It
was the hand motion that really got me there.
Speaking of which, in this hand motion, the country of Italy is officially closed. Just it's you know, it's closed. Also, yes, don't use vodka. Use Everclear, please. It's got a higher alcohol content.
I don't even know.
Way higher.
I mean, whatever. It's terrible. It's bad. I'm worried about the hit to the economy, right? I feel like I'm such an old man because I'm like, oh man, my 401k. Like, why? It was just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what? Like, can't we just have one thing going for us?
No, we can't have anything. The world is in
the
peril.
Worst timeline. Why is it the worst timeline?
Gaia, spirit of the earth, is all like, you know, handing out rings and making Captain Planet. It's the worst. Worst timeline, folks. Worst timeline.
Good news. What good news can we talk about?
Speaking of worst timeline.
Oh yeah.
We had a legend in cinema pass away.
So per Gamney, I'm just gonna let you know, not old enough to be afraid. I don't know. I'm not old enough to look forward to dying from coronavirus. I guess is what I would say.
Fair. Yes.
I'm with the millennials and the Zoomers on this. I'm like, it's been a good run.
It's been a good run.
Good run.
We're out.
I'm done. Yeah, so I was texting Afroman when I saw this come up, and I was thinking about Max von Sydow, and I'm like, man, this guy was in like so many movies of my youth. Like a new one would pop into my head, right? You got, we'll talk about it later, but we got Dune, we got Ming the Merciless, we got The Seventh Seal, which, admittedly is not a kid movie, but, is important. Minority Report, which was, by all accounts, not very good, but he's in that as well. What else? He's in the new Star Wars. He's in
Game of Thrones. He's done also. I mean, he's been in everything. He does voices for Skyrim. He does. He's been in The Simpsons. I mean, Robin Hood, the Ghostbusters. He's the voice of Vigo in the video game.
Literally, like, just ridiculous movies. And yeah. If you're a fan of cinema, I don't know, Rolls. That was a. So here's the deal: if you're a fan of movies and you enjoy understanding references of movies, I think The Seventh Seal is a must-watch. It is a boring ass
slog.
Yeah, meditation on film and philosophy and thought. So there's that, but also, like, you'll finally understand the chess game with death thing. You'll understand the dancing bear thing, like all the jokes that.
Oh my god, all the jokes, right?
All the jokes that the Simpsons made fun of is in every scene of that movie, and all the references in future movies. I mean, Bill and Ted, that joke doesn't make sense unless you know the Seventh Seal, right?
Unless you know the Seventh Seal. That's funny because I remember watching the Seventh Seal when I was a kid, and I was like, and then I remember seeing Death play. They're playing. Would you like to play a game? And they play all the other board games like Twister and whatnot. I'm like, hilarious.
Yeah, so, I mean, Rose, you say that, right? You mean it didn't come from Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure? You're right, but listen, I remember hearing on the old channel like, oh, you know what, Mad Max is just ripping off Borderlands, and I'm like, what? Mad Max is no, it's not. Mad Max was first, everybody. Like, people don't know where things come from because we've referenced it and made it new and blah blah blah. So, Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure, everything's all there.
Love it. So, but the reason we got into this conversation was we were picking out, but then we picked out our favorite.
Who's an Exorcist as well.
Of course. He's the father. I mean, but that might be one of his popular roles. But the role that really, like, we're like, oh my god, he was in Dune. And Pedro and me have
greatest sci-fi epic of all time.
Greatest sci-fi epic of all time. Surfer Arrakis, that's right. and we were getting into a little conversation on chat yesterday. People were like, no, it's not the greatest. It's not the greatest. And I realized that my wife hadn't seen it. It had been one of those moments where she hadn't sat down to watch it. And I was like, we need to sit down and watch it. So she was like, what? We're watching Dune. I'm like, no,
I wish I could have been there for this. How is a fully formed adult watching this film without? Oh my god! Has she read the book? Is she?
No. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely.
Well, it's a religious text, right? I mean,
it really is.
The Fremen are extremely religious, so it's not unusual for. Oh yeah, so we're talking about the 1984 David Lynch Dune,
the magnificent David Lynch. The crazy David Lynch that if you've watched any other David Lynch stuff, you know that it's already off the wall craziness. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to start with my preface for this movie, just because this is going to be kind of a love letter for this whole episode about Dune. Is the fact that when you really think about the movie Dune, or just the idea of Dune, when you watch it and you try to match other sci-fi movies, it does everything completely different. It like Star Wars and the feel of Star Wars, the space kind of thing. The Dune is different. It just has a very different vibe. It does things in a different counterculture way. You know what I mean? Like, it's just different.
Think about 1984, right? So the 1984 when this movie came out, presumably everyone's thinking about Jedi, right? A Jedi released in 83 and crushed everything in its path. So studios are trying to put together science fiction movies, and here you go. Here's Dune. Somehow David Lynch finagled the rights to make this film way over budget. Tron, so that's a why would you say something so controversial
yet so brave? No, not even. It's not steampunk. There's nothing steampunk about it.
Tron is a very original film, right?
It is.
Dune is different, right? So if you think
like
about
you're gonna go for a wild ride when they say the year is 10,342. Like,
there's an emperor. This sounds a lot like Warhammer 40K, but it's not.
It's not at all. Right.
It's a ridiculous film. It's so different. It's focused on politics, right? So Game of Thrones, it's got the houses vying for power. You don't quite understand anyone's motivations until they become clear, right?
Right.
And plans within
everything
plans. Conan says once.
And the wife, as we're watching it, the emperors are all in like French, like old French attire and very very Duke Ferdinand's very style attire, and we're like, well, everything comes around again, right? Like, so it's just like, of course, 15th century French motif is back in style in the year 10,042.
Well, think about the rule of the Padishah emperor was 10,000. I mean, I'm a super nerd.
Let's do it. That's what I want to hear. Put it on. Put it on. Put that geek hat on.
Their families ruled. This emperor had ruled the universe for 10,000 years. So the universe had actually begun to stagnate, right? Had become dependent on spice, had started to repeat, right? So the houses even though leaders changed and houses power changed, the universe was not changing, was not evolving, was not becoming better. And that's why the Bene Gesserit were pulling their strings and the Kwisatz Haderach was such an important thing, right?
Right.
They had different goals. They wanted
now explain to our fans, what is the spice?
What is the spice?
Let's talk about it, because there's
right? What they call it. I mean, it's age extending, right? So it's a drug that allows people to live longer, which is important to the plot of the full 5 books of Dune,
right?
And it also it's LSD, right? This book was written in 1965, so this is a time period where everyone's experimenting with drugs, or at least writing about experimenting with drugs,
right?
So this drug, allows you to dig deeper, and one of the things it allows you to do is to talk to your past lives, to learn from the mistakes of all your past lives, which is what the Bene Gesserit women have mastered, but no men have, and that's what the Kwisatz Haderach is a man who can do that, and blah 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 blah. So this drug is only made on one planet. And the drug is it's
also like kind of like oil in a way.
The drug is so good that the guilds were like, well, dude, maybe what if we just, instead of flying somewhere, we just made it come to us by folding
space, man.
So they're so high, they bring it all together.
Yeah. Could you imagine being so high that you can literally bring things to you, like whole plant, like you are moving space?
Have you never been so high that you've been like, wouldn't it be great if I had a donut, and like you look at your hand and there's a donut there, and you're like, oh, what? I've never been that high. I will deny it in court, for the record.
Like, burrito. I'm like, burrito. I wish I had a burrito. What? Fair enough. Look at this. He called me out on it. That's right.
Touche, sir.
Touche. Fair enough.
And I will say that the David Lynch movie, the middle part, having watched it again in the last 2 days, is also a slog. That middle part is...
Which one?
Just the middle act of Dune is. I mean, time is fast forwarding in a weird way. There's a lot of narration.
So the scene with the seeker, with the seeker that comes
more than that rules.
It tries to kill Paul. At that moment, I turn to the wife and I go, "Okay, now the movie starts."
What?
Like the moment it tries to kill Paul.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I'm like, that's where the movie starts. Like, that's where the plot, like, that's the whole beginning of the plot. Like, we're going to try to kill the son because the son is like being told, like the guild at the beginning of the movie is like, I don't care. Kill Paul. And we're like, oh, okay.
That's an interesting statement. That's when the movie starts. Okay. All right. Yeah. I can appreciate that.
It's like everything else is foreshadowing, telling you everything you already know. It's establishing who the emperor is, establishing who the Atreides are. It puts them on the planet. It gets them kind of situated.
30 minutes of backstory, which is
30 minutes of backstory. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Thanks, friends, for coming down to play my Dungeons and Dragons game. I hope you're comfortable because I'm going to explain the world to you. Yeah. I mean, at one point there is literally a PowerPoint presentation that the guilds are putting on in all 4 of the houses.
Totally. We talked about that last night. We were like, is this a PowerPoint presentation? Sure. And there's like planets coming up explaining here's Giddy Prime, House of the Harkonnen, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, it's so good. You can't do that.
Star Wars. The sets, I mean, there's a lot of things to talk about in that film.
But you can't do that anymore, right? So I'm interested, we're talking about this movie, this old movie.
Jupiter Ascending was an attempt at this, right? Think about Jupiter Ascending sets and the old empires and the long lives of the people who live there and the unobtainium in Jupiter Ascending. So the Wachowskis were trying to do something like David Lynch's Dune, and I don't think they got there. Space.
What?
Have you seen Jupiter Ascending, Joe?
I have not.
You really should. You really should.
Oh God! Yes,
as a man who's probably seen more bad science fiction movies than anyone else.
I should. You're right. I should. I mean, I like ice pirates. I mean, for God's sakes, like
who doesn't like? If you don't like ice pirates, you don't like science fiction.
It's right.
Or bad science fiction, as the case may be. Yeah, but Jupiter Ascending, Space Gate Wolfman aside, and bees aside, right? All the alien stuff, you could put that aside. It had notes of Dune, right? The long 10,000-year-old empire, the sort of process of consuming your own and blah, which is what the spice is, right? It's the worms. Spoilers if you don't read the second and third and fourth books of Dune. But the series is there where it's like, hey, we're consuming these worms to expand, blah, 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 blah. And that's what they do in Jupiter Ascending. Spoilers, Joe, I don't feel bad because you haven't seen it in 10,000 years.
Right? That's all right.
It actually is going to enhance your experience of the film, and like every bit I can give you to enhance it, you're going to need to get to that film.
Fair.
It's not the best.
You know what's going to suck is I'm going to love it.
Yeah, you're going to love it.
I'm going to love it.
Great. Oh, this is amazing. One thing I will say about Dune, 1984, right? Or this film comes out. Watching it again, the sets, like, and the science fiction weapons and the ridiculous sort of props, it's always amazing to me to like pick out the details, right? So like some of these props, you can see that they just like glued keys together to make a symbol, and I'm like, wait, that's like did they steal the guy's keys to make this prop?
Yeah,
like, it really is like ingenious design that
love it.
We don't get as much anymore. Like
we don't.
And I mean, like I love making Warhammer terrain. I love being involved in that sort of crafty bit of the hobby because I think of movies like this, like Star Wars and Battlestar Galactica.
So you have to think about the artist's brain that went. We need to make a voice module. The voice, the weirding module. So let's get a box and like some cones and like just like
it looks like
spray paint it black.
Cases. I know it's before CD cases, but it looks like a CD case with some pencil sticking on it.
Right,
like,
right. It totally looks just like whatever. And the gun is like the wielding part is. It's just weird. It's all good practical effects,
which cosplayers are doing now, right? So in this amazing, ridiculous way, where a good cosplayer or a creative cosplayer will look at something like that and be like, oh my God, I can make a weirding module out of this, right? There's just not. There is, right? You have to go and look for it now, right? I think CGI is the easy path, but there is actually some special effects movies.
I think the new Star Wars movies kind of brought that back. There was a lot of there was set locations as opposed to just green screen. There was a lot more, hey, let's build this droid as opposed to making them CG. Hey, let's use puppets as opposed to making them CG. You know, that sort of thing. So they went back to some, of course, not the movie's impossible without doing CG, but
I mean, the Mandalorian ship is a good example of that sort of prop design. Like you look at the cockpit of the Mandalorian ship.
Oh, it's great.
You mentioned it. You look at that, you're like, is that a takeout tray from a Chinese food place? Like it looks like these little things are all around there, and it's I don't know. I love that look and feel, and I really enjoy that from a creative craftsperson perspective. And Dune is a great example of this. Like it's clear that I don't know if towards the end they had been told by the studio, hey, we're cutting you off on the prop stuff, and they just kind of threw things together. Like the Sardaukar look like they all have vacuum attachments, just the hose hanging off. It's a trash bag, and
so I don't know, did you notice at the beginning of the scene, like the first scene where they wheel him in? There's like a guy like vacuuming,
just like one little part of it.
He's just like. The wife was like, "Is he vacuuming?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. I don't know. I've always noticed him too." Yeah, look at that. That's exactly. There you go. Wow, thank you, Jordan. That's exactly. It's like a giant huffy bag with like
a hose is just hanging off there. It doesn't actually connect to a breather or a filter. It just sort of hangs there. But that is knitted trash bag. That's what that is. That is knitted trash bag.
That's exactly it. And here we are. We just believe that here's the Spacing Guild. Here they are. This is it. And then you had giant weird sexual organ baby thing talking, folding space.
It's just Beetle. I didn't find it sexual at all. There's literally nothing. Like the movie actually dampens the sexual mood of everyone in a BIPOC race.
As a matter of fact, if you play it in a group, it sterilizes whole groups of people.
Better than a screaming pack of children. It will not stop.
There you go. Look at that. That's it. That's the weirding module gun. Like, that's the pistol part. It's a box.
No, that's an Atreides pistol. Actually, Gurney Halleck uses that when he's
Gurney. That's right. Gurney. Paul, we thought you were dead.
Played by the ageless Patrick Stewart.
Stewart. So yes, Patrick Stewart is in this movie again. And so let's recap on what he's been in. He's been in Shakespeare. Mm-hmm. He was. So let's time travel with us. Let's time travel with Jean-Luc Picard here. He has played a knight at the Round Table in Excalibur.
Mm-hmm.
He has played Gurney in the year 10,000 on Dune. He is captain of the Enterprise. He hasn't aged a day. He's 82 in this scene right here.
All of a sudden, his career has rebounded. Rolls. His career has never. That's probably like him and Max von Sydow. Joe and I were talking about this. Like these are two actors that I've only known them old.
I mean, think about it.
Versions of them for me.
So Max died at 92 is what they said he passed away at.
I think
so 30 years ago when Dune came out, 40 years ago when Dune came out, give or take,
really well one actually in the green room.
So 40 years ago, he was still in his 50s.
Yeah. Look at him. Look at the trash bags back there.
That's right.
These guys were probably ordered by David Lynch to roll in the dirt and mud for 20 minutes before they were allowed on set.
I love that about the scene. Also, you can see that the movie's dirty. It's dirty. It's not overly like make-upped. There are ugly people.
Unless you're Sting.
Yeah, unless you're Sting. Can we get a picture of Sting in a bikini, please? Sting in metal bikini. That's all you have to search for. You will find it. Because it is the most magnificent thing.
Is that what we're tasking Jordan? This is why you don't want to be a producer on our show.
This is the power producer right there. That is the magnificent Sting, and he's oiled up too in this.
Can I talk about this scene for a second?
Please.
It is a really, really long scene with no dialogue.
It is. He's just like looking at him like,
yeah. It is a long, gorgeous scene of Sting, who has like 12 lines in the movie, and 9 of them are his.
Yeah, he comes in right, and he's just like flexing, and he's just like glistening, and then he just stares at the camera like, It's like
awakening feelings.
Awakening feelings. Like, what is going on? What is going on here?
Fan service. This is
perfect fan service.
David Lynch knew what he was doing, delivering this
absolutely.
Thing onto us.
And if you didn't know, folks, there is a Pop Funko. It is a con exclusive version, but it can be purchased on Amazon for $15 of him in that bikini.
Really?
Yes.
That's hilarious. That's too much.
It's a fantastic. It's the one special out of the Dune 3. There's the Paul. There's the Sting one with his knife and whatnot, and then there's the naked version with his bikini. I'm like, those are the 3 that you chose to make. You couldn't make a Duke. You couldn't make a Duke Leto. You couldn't make a no. I want a worm. Give me a big worm. Look at this. Look at this.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous. I wish his arms were up though.
I know his arms should be up like this.
His arms should be up. Spectacular.
Amazing. So, again, we could talk about this movie for hours. We can literally talk about this movie for hours. But I want to talk about the fact that this is a movie that's getting a remake, and I want it really badly, and then I don't, right? Because but I don't believe in that. Like, remakes ruin old movies. I don't believe.
I don't either.
Good, because I think it's silly. Like, you've ruined my childhood. No, you didn't. Like, it's still there. It still exists. I can still pop in Ghostbusters. The new one didn't.
You kind of want to be like, guess what? Your childhood was bad, no matter what.
Yeah, no matter exactly.
Listen, I mean, I love remakes. I think it's important. Like Shakespeare, I think it's important to remake text and redefine text and bring text forward to a new generation to experience. Dune at its core is a religious document about environmentalism and change, right? The Muad'Dib and the Kwisatz Haderach is about removing the old order of nobles and leadership and destroying it. Now, it's a little cynical, I think, in that like he takes over and essentially just murders everyone who disagrees with him. So it definitely is a little bit more authoritarian than I would like. But at the core of it, he's about preserving the human race and saying that if we don't change, we will stagnate and die, right? So that's what the whole core of these 5 books. This is Frank Herbert.
Wait, are you telling me that Paul is not a good guy by the end of this?
No, not by. Well, I mean, he is, but like It's like any vampire that lives for 2,000 years. You just start to see humans as less than worthwhile, right? So he winds up living 3,500 years.
So we got to talk about the cast for this remake, and let's start off with this cast here, and we're gonna go one by one. So first off, Lady Jessica is being played by Rebecca Ferguson, and so the best way, I mean, she was in Mission Impossible. So if you want to click on Rebecca Ferguson, we'll just come back and forth with this because it's gonna be hard to kind of pick out where she's been in, but
yeah, she's really good.
Yeah, she's been in I think if you scroll down, it'll tell you what she's known for. So yeah, Dr. Sleep, Mission Impossible, Life. So she's done a few things. She's Isla, Faust. She's the love interest in the Mission Impossible 3 and then the fourth one or whatever. So yeah, she's fantastic. So she's gonna play Lady Jessica, which will be great because she'll be the Bene Gesserit.
That's solid, the Bene Gesserit mother. I like it. Yeah,
definitely. And then so this is the unknown, right? So the smaller actor is Paul. So good hair.
Right age, right?
Right age. He's got the good chin, you know. He's been in a few movies. He's the Lady Bird is the big one that he was in that everyone knows him for. He was Tom in Interstellar at 15 years old. I remember that. And Call Me by Your Name. Yeah, I remember that. So he's
got a lot of indie cred.
He's got a lot of indie cred. He's the young actor that's got a lot of indie cred. So that's gonna be a good fit.
Per game, you know what? I'm gonna have to ask you in person how to pronounce this. Per Gamni. Also great, yeah. Vampire Weekend vibes. That's exactly right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
this
exactly.
Is your man.
This is incredible.
This is your man.
So yeah, here we go. Duncan, which is when I think about the role. So Duncan, we're gonna get as Momoa. So this is gonna be interesting because he is the swordmaster in the book in the movie.
Duncan Idaho.
Yeah. So he's their head guard guy. I mean, he's the guy, but then he kind of dies in the movie pretty lamely, right?
Well, he lives longer in the books, right?
That's what I'm hoping his role gets longer. In the movie, he just gets killed by a freaking. It goes right to the.
Well, he does die there, but he winds up killing 20 Sardaukar. You know what? Slow down.
Yes, look at that. Get that geek buff. He's like, no, he kills like 20.
He lives 1,000 lives, Duncan Idaho. He keeps being reborn, and because Paul Atreides doesn't want to let go, and Duncan Idaho represents his humanity as he becomes the God Emperor, as Paul Atreides becomes the God Emperor in future books. It's crazy. I think it's great casting because Duncan Idaho is supposed to be exactly this, like a gorgeous, carved Greek god of a man who can fight and teach. Right? That's Duncan Idaho. Yeah, exactly. They did cheap out. I mean, we didn't want Tom Cruise in this role anyway. Even though Tom Cruise,
I'm sick of Tom Cruise.
He would be a good Duke, baby. No, he wouldn't.
No, because we've got a good Duke, and we're gonna get there. So Chandni, of course, Zendaya, which I think is a fantastic casting. I think she's gonna play a great Chandni. She's definitely gonna work. I mean, she's gonna be great.
I still haven't seen any of this stuff.
Oh my God, she's great as MJ, as Michelle, I guess is what they call her. So anyway, yeah.
Pergamene, I gotta say, I think like 3 or 4 weeks ago, Joe put me on the spot and asked me to cast a movie like they used to do in like Wizard magazine in the 80s and 90s, and I just spaced. This is great. I mean, this is exactly the dream casting you want to be putting together for a film like this. I love it. What are they gonna do? I really want to know what they're gonna do with Dune. As it's such meaty text for them to make.
Right. So this is I want to talk about as soon as we get through. So here we got the Beast, Raban, Dave Bautista, like freaking, like look at this guy. That's awesome. That's a great cast. That's a great role right there.
Has he played a villain? I haven't seen him play a villain. Is he going to be able to play a villain?
Yeah, he plays the villain in oh God, what movie was that? I think
we can scroll down. Maybe it's right there at the bottom.
Yeah, he's played a villain in a few roles.
In Riddick, is he the villain?
No. Scroll down. He did. He played a villain in. No. Stobbers is good. He played a villain in one of the other ones. In Blade Runner. I think in Blade Runner. In Blade Runner 2049,
I haven't seen that one. Okay, all right.
Plays that. He's also a villain in one of the Mission Impossibles, I think.
Did he do well in 2049?
No, in Spectre, right? He's in Spectre. He's in James Bond. Yeah, there he goes. Hinks. That's her. He goes right there. He plays a great villain in Spectre. He's kind of the muscle man that like won't relentless stab him, and he's just like like the Odd Job
for the Beast Raban. Sure,
like Odd Job who's cheating in GoldenEye.
I can dig it. Who's playing Harkonnen? Is he there, the Baron?
Yeah, the Baron is there.
Stellan Skarsgård.
Look at this. Great. Look at that. Look at that face right there on the left. That is the Baron right there.
Odd Job is not cheating, Rolls. Thank you. You're right.
I like calling Rolls out. I think we do it like once an episode.
At least once an episode. So great. Talking about cheating Odd Job. No, he's perfect. Stellan Skarsgård is
he's a good Baron. I think it'll be good.
I hope when they make this film, they don't become obsessed with the CGI for it.
No, that's so Villanueva is look. Josh Brolin is playing Gurney.
Was there no one else available?
Come on. The Brolman? Come on.
Well, I mean, great. Patrick Stewart's right there.
I do just cast Patrick Stewart again.
Why not?
I mean, he can do all the action scenes. He's freaking immortal. There's a painting somewhere.
Play the bardic instrument that Gurney Halleck used to play. Josh Brolin. Wow, this is a lot of money on this cast.
Yeah, right. So check out the Oscar. Check out the Duke.
So he doesn't look old enough. I mean, I guess he looks older than Paul.
Yeah, he's definitely older, and they'll give him the gray and the hair, and he's going to have the thick.
What I mean, like they could have also hired an older actor, right?
Yeah, but I mean, we're getting some Latino. We're getting
at least one. Yes,
we're getting at least one. So I
good
mean,
choice. He's great. He's been great in everything he's done.
Everything. I mean, he's Poe. He's fantastic. He's great.
He doesn't only get stuck with science fiction roles.
I don't know. I mean, is there a bad way to go there? I mean,
no, this is true. You could be that guy
because you can be the guy, and then you're touring for the rest of your life. You can just go to cons and like have the fans adore you forever. Right? No, is that not
Patrick Stewart? That's the life Patrick Stewart lives.
Patrick Stewart that man's a king.
He's in like 5 different sci-fi franchises.
The rest of those casts is a little smaller known, but there's a few other. Look at Dr. Yui.
So they're recasting Liet Kynes as a woman.
Yeah.
Interesting. Sharon Duncan Brewster. Love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can dig it. So that's the role that Max von Sydow played in Dune, right? He's a much larger role in the book. In my head, he was bigger in the movie.
So was he Fremen? Or was he just an adopted Fremen? Like
he adopted the Fremen ways. He became a man of faith, right?
Yeah,
so this is because they're also how you say environmentalists, right?
So and again, let's can we pull up the director so we can see what else he's done, because that's the big deal. I think we need to see the cards. He's got
Charlotte Rampling. Who's that? Who do we see in that? Who is Charlotte Rampling? Let's put her up.
Charlotte Rampling. What is she?
What part does she play in the movie? I missed it. Oh, she's going to play the Bene Gesserit?
Yeah.
She's got to play guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's going to crush it. Awesome. I'm really excited for this film.
Yeah, so we've got some great
2020 release, and we haven't seen a trailer yet.
No, so we're going to get a ramp up in the middle of the year. So it looks like maybe Comic-Con, if it happens, probably not. So we'll probably get all the trailers.
Comic-Con's after flu season, though, right? I mean, they're not gonna...
Yeah, but June, man, like June, July, like will it recover? That's the interesting thing. That's kind of what I'm kind of seeing is like there's going to be a trickle down effect.
I don't think everyone knows how to wash their hands by June. Like even my daughter learned how to tie her shoes in a couple of days, right?
So Dennis Villanueva, man, like this is the guy that they're handing the reins to. And if you scroll down, you'll see the fantastic stuff that he's done. So he did Blade Runner 2049. He did Arrival.
All right, so he's got
Sicario.
Some sci-fi modifieds.
Yeah, he's got a good scene.
Oh, and he's doing the TV series too, the pilot?
Yeah, he's doing the pilot episode for the teaser. So if you didn't know, Dune is also getting a prequel to the movie, which will follow the Bene Gesserit. And it's going to be on HBO Max.
That is a bold choice, the Bene Gesserit.
Yeah, where you get to explain a lot of that, like, crazy.
I wonder how they're gonna rock that.
I don't know.
The enemy and prisoners are also... I like that this guy's watching us now. Sicario was amazing. Yep. No, these are all fantastic films. So high hopes. Yeah. I don't like saying high hopes, but maybe I got high hopes here. I'm just, you know what? It could be 15 budget actors on stage. If they use the text in an enlightening way, I'm going to be excited for this, right?
So who are they casting for the Worm?
Being a trashy remake that doesn't really do anything but explode things, I don't want to.
So who are they casting as the Worm? What actor should play the Worm?
Casting as the Worm? Come on, that's going to be CGI or.
Let's go. They're going to go practical. Just a sock puppet and a sand.
Right out of the vault. Travolta. There we go. John Travolta.
There we go.
What's he done lately? He's going to be available. He can do the worm. It's going to be great. It's right there in the sand.
So as long as we get Paul riding him.
Oh God. Oh God.
It's so weird. So weird.
Is that the worm costume? Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage would take that paycheck. Don't laugh, Rolls. He would take that paycheck in a second. There he is, right there.
Nicolas Cage. There we go. There is no other casting.
That's actually a pretty good costume.
It is. It is.
So my wonderful wife, she walked in on me watching the end of Dune, and she's just like, every time I walk into this film, I don't recognize the scene until seconds later, and then I'm like, this film is so weird, and I'm like, yeah, it is. But sister Aaliyah, the little girl in the film that is just awesome. She was like, you and R should cosplay.
Oh my God, I'd pay money for that. I'd pay money for that. She's my favorite. She's my favorite in the movie because her voice is just so awesome.
It's so good.
My brother is coming for you,
Baron. Wait for my brother, Baron.
Get out of my mind. It's the best. I'm like, ooh. She's the best. She totally kills that.
The last 10 minutes of the film totally makes the previous 2 hours work.
Look at that face. It's just so good. It's so good. This face is just like,
yeah.
Oh God.
This little girl, I forget her name. She delivered. She
totally, and she's got that like fangly tooth, the little girl tooth. Like, like, oh my God, this is creepy. If you're not if you haven't watched the movie, her whole thing is she's like super powerful because she was born with all the powers of the Bene Gesserit mother.
Reverend Mother, in fact.
Yeah, but as a baby, as young. So like it allows her to even live longer than everyone. So
she is canonically, I think, 2.5 years old in this particular shot. So
yeah, she's like 2.5.
Yeah.
Oh God, she's so great. I love it.
You're a Sardaukar in the desert. You don't have to worry, Rose.
Right. So yeah, she's the movie's interesting, man. Again, if anyone hasn't seen Dune, we can't talk more about it. I mean, we could, but that would go longer and longer. We could go scene by scene.
DMs and I will fight you on Dune all day.
Right. Also, we did play the game, right? Let's talk about the board game. We played the board game on at PAX East. And that was the best part is we got to sit down and play it. And it's a fantastic game. So
like this is a gorgeous deluxe version. Whoever put this one out there is really nice.
Yeah,
look at
so
that
good
deluxe version. So this is based on the, I want to say 1985, maybe actually it might be 1979. It might be a 79 game. And it's
based off the book.
Based off the book. So the game is based off the book, and this is the remake based off the 1979 version that Fantasy Flight Games or whoever got the rights to this made a lot.
Well, the fantastic part about it is that this board game, what they did is they took these archaic rules from the 1970s version,
and
streamlined it, modernized it, and it was a blast to play at PAX. I loved playing it. I wish we'd played it again. Like,
I can't wait. It's 6 players is the best number to play with because there are 6 houses, right? So you could play House Atreides, House Harkonnen, the Emperor, the Guild, and each one has their own unique victory condition. The Fremen, the Bene Gesserit, and each one has their own unique victory condition. And the victory condition is so easy, which we discovered in our first game.
Right, you just have to
won as the Harkonnen on turn 2. Like it took us all longer to set up and explain the rules than it took him to win the game.
Right.
We were just all like, "Holy cow, he just won!"
Yeah.
And it's just one of those games that if you're not watching and not marshaling your forces correctly, you could easily be overwhelmed and just spend the next 10 turns coming back, which in our second game, Jordan did as the House Harkonnen and you did as the House Atreides. You two went to war early and then you spent the next 8 turns trying to rebuild.
And while we were trying to rebuild, everyone else came in and was like, gotcha, and took over. And it was like, oh.
So only time beat us, right? By turn 7, we were like, all right, let's go to bed.
Yeah.
The amazing thing to me about this game is that because of the way the alliances and the conflicting victory conditions work, if you're familiar with the text and the movie, you're almost always playing out scenes from the film, right? Like the Bene Gesserit, their victory condition is the same as everyone else's, but also they can win by predicting who wins.
Right. They can if they say Harkonnen win on turn 4, and that happens, the Harkonnen are like, we win, and they're like, actually no, we win. We guessed that. Yeah. We guessed it. It's like Clue. They you open up the envelope and it's like
by carefully manipulating all the other houses with my Bene Gesserit powers, I have ensured your victory by turn 2, right? So there's a little bit of that. we never got to play with the diplomacy rules because we never got to the council because Shai-Hulud never showed up, right?
Yeah. So the what's great is the board is the planet is Dune. It is Arrakis, and you move around the board, but then just like in Dune, there's a storm that constantly moves around the planet clockwise. And so
scouring the surface of troops, as Joe found out with this sad Atreides in the sand dunes decimated by the storm that passed over.
Yep.
So it's got a lot of things, a lot of simple things you have to keep track of mechanically, but they're all so imbued with the spice of the theme for Dune that there's like you all have to work together, and then you have to plan carefully within your plan the betrayals that have to occur, right? For you to win, you have to occupy.
Let's talk about that, because at the very beginning of the game, the setup is you set up the game, you pick your house, and then what's great is you're given 3 cards, and in these 3 cards are 3 heroes, 3 generals, and what you're doing is, let's say I'm the Harkonnen, and I pick 3 cards, and in these 3 cards are important people in the game, and let's say I have Paul. So Paul is my card. I pull Paul and I put him in my hand, and that means I own him. He is my traitor. That means that he is the one that. So no matter what happens, is when I fight against Paul, if I'm playing against the Atreides and Paul is the hero of that general, I automatically win that battle. And
you automatically win the battle, and Paul dies. Which is incredible, right?
Yeah. So
and each house has different interactions with that, right? One of the crazy things is the Harkonnen actually get to keep all their traitors. So whereas everyone else has to pick from an assortment,
right?
The Harkonnen get to do that. The twist of that is that if you pick one from your own house, which is something that I love, you can trust that hero, right? So like if in that case, if you had been House Atreides and you picked Paul, you know that Paul is your most trustworthy and loyal lieutenant, and you can use him.
So no one else has him.
So it becomes a sort of catch and play, and that's information you can trade, right? You could be like, hey, I have the beast for Bond as a trader, so you can use the beast against someone else, and I won't use it against you, right?
Yeah.
So there's like ways you can trade that information at the table to sort of finagle your way into a superiority. So it was our first 2 times playing. We didn't play with the advanced rules, or as we found out, Jordan and I, having played the Bene Gesserit, we played with half of the advanced rules, and the other half.
I will say that the layout is weird. They should have put just the advanced on the flip side for everybody and been done with it, as opposed to putting, so you're reading all these
for a bunch of dumbasses at 10 o'clock at night, right? That's
drinking whiskey.
Drinking whiskey at 10 o'clock at night at PAX was our challenge on a Friday night. So great game, Dune. If you like it's got light on rules. I can't even call it heavy rules, but if you like that,
I thought it would be way heavier. It's actually really easy to play.
You like that political economic sort of pull game where you're really struggling to make money as you watch other people make a lot of money, because that's one of their powers. It's a neat game, and if you love Dune, you're going to love the board game. That's pretty much my take on it. One of the things that went down memory lane was looking at all the real-time strategy games that were built around Dune, right? Dune 2000. What is it? Westwood Studios put out Dune 2000.
That's a great game.
These were like I should have asked Jordan to pull it up. Yes, it's a
great PC game, a great RTS
game back in the day where, I mean, you had to go and mine spice and bring it back, and then you build up your facilities.
This is precursor to StarCraft, precursor to Warcraft. This was one of the original RTS games.
Proto RTS game, right?
Yeah.
This Dune 2000, and I think Red Faction was that one of the first ones as well.
I think this predates Red Faction. Yeah, Red Faction was after.
Is it Warcraft and this
original Warcraft and this, but I think even Dune is earlier than that. I think Dune 2000 is before that. I think Westwood was one of the.
Dune 2000 was like the future when we played it, right?
Right. Oh,
yeah. Should have been Dune 10,000, right? That would have been.
I know, right? Why? I don't know. Yeah, there it goes.
Fantastic and amazing real-time strategy game. You got the same sort of map reveal. You got the digging into the thing. Can I even play this?
Yes, you can. It is available to download.
Back too many memories of waiting for my mom to go to bed and sneaking back to the computer room.
So, do you know if this has any multiplayer, or is it co-op?
I only remember one of the reasons why I don't like RTS games is because they wound up being so focused on multiplayer. I remember this being a solo game, right? Like just playing it but I bet there's like multiplayer mods. Look, the transports are picking up troops and bringing them back for repairs, and If there was a worm sign, you had to go pick up your harvesters before
right,
the
right
worm.
before the worm show, and then they'd show up and go, just
and then you get the voice come on, worm sign, and you're like, where is it? Where is it? You gotta go find my harvesters. So good. And the Fremen had special abilities. Yeah, not Fremen. The Atreides could play Fremen special abilities. Just a
what a weirdly underrated sci-fi. Like, it's one of the most under-tapped sci-fi franchises. I think that's why I wanted to talk about it. It's so under-tapped.
Like John Carter Mars, right? Under-tapped. No. Sorry. No, it is. It's a rich, deep world with 10,000 years of interesting history. It's got Star Wars level arcana. You can really dig into the canon. It's got World of Warcraft level ridiculousness and its ostentatiousness and sci-fi look. And it's got giant worms on a desert planet. Like, how could you go wrong, right? It's got a little bit of everything that yeah, you're right. It's one of the great untapped ones. Why isn't there like a miniature war game? I'm sure there's a role-play game.
Oh my God, yeah. But you know what? With the movie coming out, I'm sure we'll see it. And of course, let's talk one last thing for Max before we forget about him.
I want Lego Dune sets. That's what I want. I want Lego Dune sets. I would buy the Lego
Dune sets. So speaking of Lego Dune, just real quick, if you didn't see, just because I forgot to talk about it,
really good transition, everybody. This is
one of the big announcements for today was that for Mario Day, if you did notice it, so let me pull that up here real quick. Boom, 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 boom. So Nintendo, out of nowhere for Mario Day, partnered up with Lego.
Say what?
So here's they only put the video up. Lego Mario, that's it. That's all we get. So big things
Is this going to be toys or like a Lego video game?
So I watched a couple of tidbits on it, and so Lego Group put up a bigger
streamer. If I'm honest with you, I would love a Lego sets with Mario.
So yes, we're getting Lego sets for sure. But okay, so see this version of the video? It's a little taller.
Mm-hmm.
What people are noticing is, see this right here? That's the bottom of the Switch. It looks like this is going to be a Switch dock. You shove the Switch in sideways. And so the screen lines up and we're going to get like touch screen, like all of this, and it's going to interact with the Lego set. It's going to be bananas. Yeah.
That's banankers. Rolls. We've only got like 4 minutes left on the show. So I don't know if you're trolling Joe with that one, but
we've already got Super Mario 3 in the background. We already got
Joe rolls, and now what's more funny? What's the small announcement, Sakari? Don't be a small direct announcement. What's this one? Joe would know.
Oh yeah. So what they did is what's interesting is there was some leak without leak is Lego had at the bottom of the screen, at the end it says that this info, like right down here, if you scroll in, it says let's see if I can actually pull it up.
Enhance.
It says, no, they talk about a direct, like the information here, whatever has been, the information here is dedicated, like Nintendo and Nintendo Direct kind of stuff. So it's like, oh, they announced this, but there is no direct. So it was kind of like, was the direct canceled, or does that mean it's up and coming? That's when it
could have been moved from a prior direct where they thought they had enough news or they weren't ready to.
Right.
So I hope it's both. I hope it's both a Lego Mario video game, which would be ridiculous, and a Lego sets, which would also be.
Why not? Nintendo would be like, let's do both. Why not both? We'll do sets and we'll do enhance it. You drop it into this like Mario dock, and it'll like you can play games, and who knows what we're gonna do? It's gonna be bananas because Nintendo's weird because they make stuff out of cardboard.
Lego amiibo. I don't need a I know you would, but
you know who else would buy it? Your bros.
Huh?
Your brothers.
Amiibos?
No,
Jay,
Lego.
Oh,
Lego.
Yeah. Yeah, my brother's big on the city one, so maybe he would. Yeah, you're right. I mean, why not, right? I'm going to buy it. Everyone's going to have their own sets for this stuff. That and a Dune Lego set. Let's get some. Oh, Ming the Merciless.
So Max, who epic bucket of wind, the last role we're going to talk about real quick was he was Ming the Merciless. And again,
being merciless, right? There's been no other Flash. Here's another untapped science fiction genre that that they've done parodies of. They've done like references to.
Everyone knows the song. Everyone knows the soundtrack. It's done by Queen, and everyone's like Flash. Everyone knows it. I mean, but it hasn't been remade. It hasn't been redone. It's untapped. So we're talking about it now, so which means that it's going to happen.
So the one studio producer's like, oh man, I forgot about Flash.
I forgot about that Flash Gordon,
dude. And Max von Sydow showed up to chew the scenery.
So good.
Like, just go see it. It's not the best movie ever, but Flash Gordon is ridiculous. Yeah. And Roll, no troll, but you know what? Bring this online. We're gonna fight. We're gonna exchange words. I don't even like Super Mario that much, and I have to say that I would never troll Joe in that fashion.
Yeah. Also,
especially since I thought, the Mario game that I've been playing on the Switch was amazing. The Mario and the Rabbids one.
Yeah, Mario Rabbids. You use a freaking XCOM Mario. Come on.
About Odyssey. I'm hearing good things about Odyssey, which is
Odyssey's phenomenal.
Yeah, so that's probably the one I'm gonna pick up on this special.
Yeah, pick it up. It's great.
This show has been brought to you by Dune and
and Purell. We've still got Purell on tap.
Wash your hands. 20 seconds. Be kind. Check in on your neighbors.
What's the song that you're singing while you're doing it?
What do you mean?
So it's been like the thing. Like everyone's like, what's a 20-second hum or song that you can sing while you wash your hands so that you can like?
There's no music in my heart, Joe. I count to 20, like any logical robot would do.
There's no music. There's no music in my heart. My God, I love you so much.
Only numbers. There you go.
Only numbers.
Oh God! I'm
no music. Good. No music. Only numbers.
How do I occupy both? I'm like, Schrodinger's dumbass. Anyway, this has been the Mid-Geek Crisis. Thank you, everyone.
Love you guys.
We're gonna go on the song that Joe sings while washing his hands.
I'm not even. If you guys like and subscribe, please. You know what to do. Hit that like. Again, we didn't talk about it. We hit 102 followers on YouTube. We're not that big, but hey, $100 people means we get to move up an algorithm. So
thank you for telling your moms to subscribe to our channel and showing them how to do it. Always great.
Even if you took their phone and logged in and hit that subscribe button for them, absolutely. Thank you. I love you guys. Guys, episode 67.
Wait, this is 68.
68.
Next week is 69, right? That's the joke, right?
Nice.
Yeah, it's classic.
Take care, guys. Nope. We got it. We can do this. Boom. Nope. It ain't coming up. Where'd it go? Okay, we'll just do this.
It's coming up for me, but it's what am I watching?
Where'd it go? Who knows?